kicking in doors and taking numbers. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Oh, yeah, Jason. Thank you for that yet another illustrious introduction. And welcome back, everybody. So, my story today, we're going to be looking at a portrait of America from the view of our Canadian friends to the north. All right, so Aurora Cannabis. Let's talk about them. One of the biggest companies in the entire industry. And they think that the path forward is all about medical. All consumption is medical consumption. It doesn't matter how cool you look at doing it or how cool the person you see taking their medicine seems. It is all medical. So it just so happens weed is medicine people have enjoyed for various reasons, taken socially. The industry as we know it today wouldn't even exist if it weren't for the original medical conversation and if the predictions of the CEO of one of the biggest cannabis operators in the world comes true, the industry's only viable path forward is returning to its roots. So last month, Canadian giant Aurora Cannabis released its results for the fiscal second quarter ending December 31st. Despite its size and globally recognized name, Aurora remains unprofitable. However, it did post a positive adjusted EBITDA of just over $1 million. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. A metric used to evaluate a company's operating performance and generally seen as a broad health check for an entire company's operations. Almost everybody else in the space, theirs continually trends downward. So in the eyes of a traditional investor, Aurora is headed in the right direction and could soon achieve profitability. And if it does, what's that mean for everybody else going forward? It depends on how you look at it. Aurora's game plan since 2020 has been to focus on medical. The majority of Canadian companies and eventually American MSOs pushed for increased recreational access, while Aurora did not. Their stock price, along with investors betting on their success, suffered the consequences. Miguel Martin became their CEO in 2020 when it was reporting a net loss of $3 billion for the fiscal year. In an interview with MJ Biz, he said, "I knew medical made money, and I knew rec was a maybe, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I knew we were hemorrhaging cash on recreational, and we didn't see it getting any better." Their stock price had plummeted to that year to $10 per share, down from an all-time high of nearly $130 per share back in 2018. Martin said going through that rough patch in 2020, as opposed to 2022, was the catalyst for them. Whether it's the capital markets, whether it's the Canadian rec market, I'm just so glad we got it taken care of earlier, because right now it'd be a real challenge. Aurora's pain 3 years ago came from many of the same problems a maturing American cannabis industry sees today. It was growing way more than it could sell. Martin took the heat publicly and said, "Fuck the haters and the analysts. In order to succeed long term, Aurora had to drop its ego and stick to the plan." He told investors it was going to be okay to be in 9th or 10th place in terms of market recreational share. The company sold off a ton of grows, having production fiscal 2022 to roughly 163,000 pounds from the 331,000 pounds they did in 2020 when he came on board with them. Medical cannabis is the absolute lion's share of profitability right now, he told MJ Biz. And currently, Aurora is number one in the Canadian medical market share by far, serving around 60,000 active patients. Their current bets riding on the global legalization wave and being Canada's largest medical player, it positions them well for the future success of the company as medical markets open up to international trade. If a country is moving towards decriminalizing, easing into the idea of medical cannabis, who are they most likely to import that product from? Probably a major established player in a mature market with a proven steady hand who's chosen science over logic, hype over emotion. Though currently trading at just 81 cents per share, it seems that Aurora's medical long game is poised to pay off pretty soon after years of pain. Could America be headed in the same direction? Joe Biden's advisors have been hinting at rescheduling, not descheduling. Adult use operators, no matter the size, continue to struggle quarter after quarter. social equity and compassionate care remain thorns in the sides of profit. And inflation and commoditization have arrived, driving operating costs up and the price of the actual product down. So all this makes you wonder, is focusing on medical the only path to sustainable profitability in the American cannabis industry? I'm Rico Lamitte, dopest dad on the street for I9 News. I'm really interested to see everybody's takes on this one. Is recreational dead? Is adult use dead in America?
Well,